welcome back to another DIYary installment. I've been doing quite a lot of stuff around the house recently, so I thought it was about time I caught you guys up on what's been going on. And I'm actually in my laundry slash breakfast nook area, my favorite part of the house. And this has recently undergone a bit of a transformation, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But first of all, I want to show you something very quickly. In the last episode, I don't know what you call these things, video, series, episode, I don't know. In the last one, I asked you guys if you had any suggestions about my bedside table. I sanded one, and I had some little bits of paint that I just couldn't get rid of, and I just dreaded sanding the other one, to be honest. So, loads of you guys gave me amazing suggestions, and I tried one, and here's what happened. Okay, so, got a brown Sharpie. Let's try this. I think my Sharpie might be a bit too dark, but look at the difference. That's the before and that's the after. That's so much better. You guys are geniuses. Why did I not think of this? Using the Sharpie worked perfectly. I couldn't believe how amazing the results were. And it just so happened it was the first thing I tried out of all of the suggestions that you guys so kindly gave me. Thank you to everyone who suggested anything, and especially the ones who suggested the Sharpie, because that was the easiest one. And I had a Sharpie right there, and I'm just very, very impressed. So thank you guys so much. And I'm going to do the other bedside table when I can force myself to do it. I've got other stuff around the house that needs to be done, so they might be mismatching for a little while. But yeah. That really worked well. Anyway, I am in the breakfast nook, like I said, and some things have been happening in here. I'm gonna refresh your memory to what it looked like when I first gave it the initial makeover. It looked really good, but I was missing a few things, like a skirting board. Until I got the skirting board in place, I painted the floor like a grey colour just to cover up the concrete, but it just so happened that the paint was pretty useless and just crumbled off, and every time I walked in here I got little bits of paint all over my feet, so I ended up covering the whole space with big rugs. And I really thought I'd get it done sooner, but I just had so much to do. So I finally had some help in installing the skirting boards. So this is what it was looking like before the skirting boards went down. So if you guys have followed along with the whole journey of this house, you might know that last year I ended up painting the concrete floor just as a temporary measure, and all of the paint just completely cracked no matter what I did, and it's all flaky and horrible. So I'm going to finally put the floorboards down that I've been meaning to do for ages, but because I haven't had skirting board, I couldn't do that. So I hired one of those big industrial miter saws to do the job, and I really did consider doing it myself for quite some time. But I don't want to lose any fingers, and I also just couldn't find the time to do it. So I asked my decorator to come in. He is so affordable and such a good chap, and he actually turns his hand to a lot of different things. So I asked him to do it for me, and he even primed all the boards. Him and his brother did an amazing job in here. So amazing that I actually asked them to install the floor, which I was 100% gonna do myself as well, but they were able to get it done in like 2 days. So it looks so good. So here's kind of what it looked like halfway. This is the big old machine that I've hired for a few days. They've cut all the sections. Most of them I think they've ended up taking home because they're priming them, and they're going to come and stick them back up tomorrow. But these are a few pieces that were already primed. As you can see, they've done all the edges, and they're just gonna whack them up. I can't wait to have the floor done so I can stand on it with bare feet without getting little bits of paint between my toes. So that's gonna be brilliant. So this is the flooring I picked out. As you can see, it's a really light pale white wood. Now that I'm thinking about it, it does look a little bit cheap, but I'm gonna sell the house at some point. Someone else is gonna rip it out anyway, so what's the point in spending loads of money on it and have it ripped out? So this is actually, I think, about £7 for a box. It's £2 per square meter in B&Q. It's the cheapest one they do, and I quite quite like it actually. With a rug on top of it anyway, it's gonna look fine. It's definitely gonna look better than this situation we have going on here. And like in the bathroom, you just put some of this foam underneath it just to make it a bit more cushiony and to stop it getting any damp or anything going on underneath the wood, or the fake wood in my case. Oh my god, look at my kitchen. Oh dear, but look at that. Guys, the flooring's going down and it makes such a big difference. The rest of the room looks so much brighter. I know it's like the middle of the night. It's 10 to 9 and they've just left. So they've been really busy today, and look. So we've got a few more hours in the morning just to get these last few bits cut and in place. They did the flooring so quickly, you guys. This would have taken me a week and they've done it in a few hours. And this has all been done. I am so happy. Look how different it looks. But now, sadly, I've got to tackle my laundry, so I'll see you tomorrow. And like I said, I was gonna do the flooring myself like I did in that little bathroom, but I only had the miter saw for the 2 days and I wasn't gonna get around to doing it. Didn't want to have to hire it out again because that becomes more expensive. It was just cheaper to let them do it in the end. I think sometimes you just gotta pick your battles, and I've got loads of other things I quite like to turn my hand at around the house as well. So they did a really good job, and they did it so much quicker than I would have done it. It would have taken me like a week. Anyway, I had to tidy the space up a little bit. So here's how it was looking the morning after. And now that it's been a couple of days and I've given the space a really good tidy up, here's what it looks like. Okay, so this is what the breakfast nook looks like now. It's so much better with a nice fresh looking floor. As you can see, I have to trim out the edges with the edging pieces, which I forgot to get, so I told them I'll do that myself and I'll put it in a video. It will make good content. But yeah, it's pretty much finished except for that. They did the skirting board all the way around. It goes around the whole room. And it's even in the kitchen now too, so there's no ugly line between the floor and the wall. I actually really like having a white floor in here. It makes the space look really bright, and I just think it makes all of the plants really pop. I've got a lot of plants in here, you guys. A few things I need to do next time. The door needs some more paint on it because it seems to have... When I do the makeover in here, I need to give the door another coat of paint, add a handle. I need a little bit more paint to cover the pipes because my tin didn't go the whole way. I'm gonna paint this little bit of architrave that was added by my decorators and just make it match the door. But yeah, that's the floor and the breakfast nook for now. Moving on to the next project that I've started recently, which was my office. Now, you might remember when I moved into the house, I turned my hand at plastering the office, and I've never done something like that before, so it wasn't brilliant. A little bit rough around the edges, but it wasn't bad. It looked a lot better than it did with the wall crumbling to pieces in front of my eyes. So it served its purpose, but I felt like in the future, I do want to sell the house and maybe try and do this again with another house. So if I want to sell, I have to make the walls look really nice and smooth and really presentable. So the options were hiring a plasterer to do it, which would have been about £600 or £700, or getting my decorator to line the walls with lining paper because they weren't that bad to begin with, and then paint over them. So that's what I did, and it only ended up costing me about £100 with labour and materials. The only thing that was left was to easy fill the walls, which I just decided to do myself. So I did that, and I did that throughout the whole room. And I also went ahead and painted the walls a crisp, brilliant white. done, I guess I should show you guys the room. Just bear in mind that it is a complete shocking mess because I've been trying to do DIYs in the meantime and move everything around. I've got a full office makeover video in the works, so I'll show you guys a full transformation soon, but let me show you what the walls look like. So this is what my office is looking like now. Please excuse the mess. I've still got quite a bit to tidy up and I definitely need to go in and hoover this floor. Hopefully you can tell the walls are now really smooth. And I'm actually quite pleased that I went for this shade of brilliant white. I kind of find this color a bit boring sometimes, but I don't know, I think it's gonna work really well in here because I have to film a lot of videos, so the light needs to bounce off the walls into my camera. This side's looking super fresh and clean. As for the ceiling, I need to put some stain block because no matter how many times I cover this, it's not really going away. This stain was actually from a water tank in the attic, which is now dried out, but as you can see, it is not looking very cute. So I'm gonna do my best to cover that with stain block, but we'll save that for another week. Anyway, I'll probably do a full makeover in this room sometime soon. I've got a few plans up my sleeve, maybe something to do with the fireplace. But for now, I need to give this space a really good tidy. But it's just nice to have a working space back in my office. So yeah, that's everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've got lots of smaller projects I'm starting this week and next, and hopefully I can catch you guys up again very soon before I start some of the bigger projects, which I think I might do early next year maybe, like the file storage room, the toilet, etc. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy DIYing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.